Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics of the day and the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense and just the right amount of sarcasm by an expert in financial literacy. And hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Excuse me. Today is Wednesday, September 21st. I want to welcome you to the show. We are here on live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And of course, you can find repeats of the show on Rumble and Spotify. Spotify went public the other day. We'll have to talk. I mean, not Spotify. Rumble went public the other day. We'll have to talk about that sometime. All right, please search Money Chat Now and Larry Steinhouse, and you can follow me there as well. Hey, if you'd like to connect, please go to contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com. There you will find my social media connections, my email, and my text message information. That's contactlarry.com. All right, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button. Everybody hit that like button right now. I'll wait for you. Go ahead, hit that like button. Go ahead. Okay, now hit that share button. Scroll down, hit that share button that says share on your page. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. And of course, you can also find Money Chat Now and the Larry Steinhouse Show on Spotify. So please go there and subscribe as well. And also, as you know, you can comment live during the show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And please say hi so I know you're watching. By the way, if you haven't joined the Money Chat Now fan page, you might want to do that because whenever I'm in Facebook jail, and it happens quite often, I can only transmit there. So please go to Money Chat Now page on Facebook, like it, and then you'll never miss a show due to the, fascist book censors. All right, on today's show, we're going to be talking about, some good stuff. We're going to be talking about lunch with Dr. Oz. We're going to talk about the market recap, sanctuary cities, and treasury rates. It's going to be very interesting, some of the things we're going to be talking about. You're going to like it. All right, Money Chat Now, of course, is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class tomorrow, that's Thursday, by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. Hey, real quick, I want to say hello to a bunch of people online. It looks like we've got Charles and Jose coming in from YouTube. We got Deb and Tom and Mike, my lovely wife Linda. We got James and Peter and Bill and Mike and Joe and John and Charles. Wow, awesome. And we got Ken the Democrat, and we've got Mike there. Said something about the audio. All right, well, we're back. I think it's good. All right, don't forget, I want to thank everybody for sharing. You guys are so awesome for sharing. I know Barbara shared it yesterday, and I think Peter shared it yesterday, and Mike shared it yesterday. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it. And all the new people, it looks like we got Keith and James there. Don't forget to share it. Betsy always shares it as well. So please click the share button, share it directly on your page or your friend's page, and you can also share it in groups and help your friends make more money and get a laugh in the morning. All right, let's talk about what happened yesterday. Yesterday, as the day continued, the market just got uglier and uglier. Look, if you remember, I warned you guys about this. The Fed is going to be announcing the latest interest rate hike today, and yesterday we had Sweden raise their interest rate 100 basis points. This obviously spooked the market into thinking the Fed will do that here. At one point, the Dow was down about 500 points, and it closed down a total of 313 points on the fear of the Fed rate. The S&P was down 44, and the NASDAQ was down 110, and the entire market's going to be on pins and needles up until about 2 o'clock today, actually exactly 2 o'clock today, when the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell actually will announce their decision. He will go on with the blah, blah, blah about inflation numbers. He will also say that it's imperative that we continue to tame inflation, and then he will announce it. He will announce the rate that will probably be 75 basis points, and that will be the end of it, unless, of course, he does anything different. If it's not 75 basis points, the market will fall. That's right. If it's not 75 basis points, the market will fall. If it's 100 basis points, expect the market to drop about 800 points. And here's the really weird part. If it's only 50 basis points, expect the market to drop about 300 to 400 points and then recover either by closing today or tomorrow. So I bet you're asking why I think the market will drop if the rate hike is only 50 basis points. Well, here's the reason. If the Fed only drops 50 basis points, then the Fed will be signaling that the economy is actually weakening. It will be the confirmation the market is looking for to be scared again that we might be heading into a recession. So the perfect number is 75 basis points. But the perfect report, which is the real news, that's the most important piece, is what the Fed says afterwards. And if the Fed feels that this is working and will be reevaluating rate hikes, that will make the difference. If Powell says anything that will be an indicator that he believes inflation is slowing even a bit, it'll be good news for the market. Look, it's all smoke and mirrors, and And there's also smoke and mirrors, and of course, the price of Big Macs. Yep, the price of Big Macs. Yeah, there's actually an indicator called the Big Mac Index. The Big Mac Index isn't about inflation, but it actually measures the strength of the dollar. The price of a Big Mac across the globe is the index. So the index incorporates a concept of purchase power parity, which is the way to track the strength of an individual currency and what purchasing power it has. Look, I don't really want to get too complicated here, but I found this while looking for the price of a Big Mac is how I actually found that data. But let's talk about this. The average price of a Big Mac is now about $6. In 1980, it was about $1.60, and in the year 2000, it was about $2.39. Again, now it's $6. That's a big increase by percentage. When do you guys think the Big Mac's going to be $10? My guess is right around 2035. What do you think? I think it's going to be $10 in 2035. But here are a few quick comparisons from the year 2000 to now. Milk per gallon was $2.78 in 2000, and now it's about $4.38 a gallon. Here's an interesting one. A bread loaf was $1.58 in 2000, and now in 2022, it's $1.76. Very little difference. This is a surprise, but maybe it's because of all the gluten allergy people who stopped buying it and they needed to lower the price to get people to buy it. All right, last one. The price of a new Corvette in the year 2000 for the standard coupe was $39,000. Now it's $68,000. That's, of course, before the dealer markup of some being up to $100,000 over sticker. All right, let's look at the futures. Let's see what Wall Street is thinking about today. Right now, it looks like we got the Dow is up 76. We got the S&P just kind of hovering there at about 8, and the Nasdaq hovering there at about 2. And again, it's going to be all about today, all about 2 o'clock. All right, let's talk about Putin. This morning's news, it was released that Putin made a speech yesterday about how he is mobilizing forces in Russia. Yesterday, in a pre-recorded message, Putin had ordered the partial mobilization of the Russian population, including ordering military reservists into active service and boost weapons production. He is actually calling on citizens to go to war against Ukraine. In the announcement, Putin said the West wants to destroy our country. He then claimed that the West had tried to turn Ukraine's people into cannon fodder. These comments were translated, by the way, by Reuters, repeating earlier claims in which he had blamed Western nations for starting a proxy war with Russia. The man is obviously off his rocker. Hey, Putin, you start a war when you fire the first shot. Don't blame others for your bad decisions, or someone here in America will have you run as a Democrat. It's all you, Putin. The crazy part of this war is how well Ukraine is defending itself against Russia. Look, of course, Ukraine is being blasted over and over again, and it's terrible, but they have not given up. It's a real-life victory movie in the making. Unfortunately, Ukraine can only play defense, and it can't actually attack Russia. The other problem is that the United States keeps funding this war with no end in sight. For Russia, this partial mobilization will be very confusing, but it could mean that Russian businesses and citizens have to contribute more to the war effort. Believe it or not, Russia has not officially declared war on Ukraine. They still call the invasion a special military operation. This is the mind of someone drunk on power. Wall Street reacted negatively to Putin's comments, with oil prices spiking more than 2%, and the Russian ruble slumped around 2.5% against the dollar. By the way, I told you guys in February, buy the ruble. It would have been a great play. Anyway, that will drop the prices of travel stocks again, and it's already happening. I did see that Carnival Cruise Line was dropping, and the others are also dropping as well. I can't help to think that if the real president was sitting in the White House, that none of this would have happened. All right, I'll see you guys in a minute.
Okay, so you thought about buying and selling real estate. You've thought about investing in the stock market, but don't know where to start. Well, what if you could find a place to unlock strategies to master both real estate and the stock market, all without the headache? That place is Investor Schooling, hosted by Larry Steinhouse, an expert in real estate, financial literacy, and the ins and outs of the stock market. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate, and you will learn mastery of stock techniques such as options and covered calls. You will even get a chance to ask one of your burning questions to the stock options sultan, the master of picks and plays. Call 866-424-2829 for free information and receive a complimentary pass to attend classes, or register online at investorschooling.com. Don't delay. These passes are limited. So what are you waiting for? Call 866-424-2829. That's 424-2829 or visit investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to welcome you back to the show. We're here live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And of course, you can also find repeats of the show on Rumble and Spotify. Please search Money Chat Now on Larry Steinhouse on Spotify. Like and subscribe there. And if you'd like to connect with me, go to contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com, and there you will find my social media connections, my email, and my text message information, contactlarry.com. Real quick, a couple people joining us online. Oh, it looks like we've got James coming in from YouTube, and the other James. By the way, James asks, how do you share? Right below the screen, there should be a button that says share. Click that share button and it says share right now or share on your timeline or whatever it says. Just click that. My brother Seth, thanks for watching. Always appreciate you. We got Mark and Charles and Tommy saying good morning, gang. All right, guys, let's get into it. So far, of course, we talked about the market recap, and of course, we know what's going to happen. The world is going to come to an end today at 2 o'clock. No, it's just going to be a nightmare at 2 o'clock. No big deal. Coming up, I'm going to be talking about my lunch with Dr. Oz, and I'm going to be talking about sanctuary cities and a little bit on treasury rates. Don't forget, of course, you can order my book called Money Hacks. Don't forget, you can order the book called Money Hacks. Go to barnesandnoble.com, go to amazon.com, order it there. Please, if you've already ordered it, please do me a favor and leave a review. And coming up, don't forget, we also have today's picks and plays. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget the share button. And by the way, if you're brand new on here, go and I'm sorry, I just had a laugh. Ken, the Democrat, wanted to know if I had a coup d'etat from Wegmans. That's actually a very clever joke. I like it. All right, and of course, we have today's picks and plays coming up, and I'm sure that Ken, the Democrat's going to love the next topic. Let's talk about my lunch with Oz. By now, you know that I am all in with Dr. Oz for Senate. This guy, look, he's the real deal for sure. I was at another fundraiser lunch with Dr. Oz yesterday, and he gave a speech and answered questions from the attendees. Every time he speaks directly to my issues. Look, I've heard him talk about medical freedom. That's right. You know, the right to be, whether you should be vaccinated or not vaccinated is your choice. I heard him talk about oil and natural gas. That's plenty in this state, and how the Democrats have shut it all down. He promises to open it up all again. I heard him talk about the stupidity of the new Green Deal and how it's impossible to implement. Boy, that's so obvious. Sounds great, but seriously, how are we going to charge all these electric cars? I've also heard him talk about his stance on abortion. And all of this is purely common sense approaches to the real issues that are here in America. The race between the heart doctor and the heartless heart patient is very tight. Why is it tight? Because Democrats don't actually do any research. Can the Democrat do some research? If they did, they would know the man that they're supporting is a thug. His bodyguards are actually murderers. Yes, he actually hired a murderer as a bodyguard. Fetterman has openly said that he would release 1/3 of the population of criminals and doesn't believe in life sentences for murder. Of course not. He can't hire murderers if they're in jail. If this isn't enough, he has openly said that he is still recovering from his stroke, so he can't debate Dr. Oz over the issues in the state. Yet the Democrats actually put signs on their lawns with this thug's name on it. The ironic ones have signs that say, "We stand with Ukraine," next to the Fetterman sign. I could easily see Fetterman being Putin. He's a thug. No, really, he's a thug. This guy even put a shotgun in the face of a black man who Fetterman thought was involved in a robbery. If he was a Republican, that would be being called a racist. This guy also touts raising taxes, but he has dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of tax liens against him. Typical Democrat. Do as I say, not as I do. He wants you to pay your fair share while he pays no share. Look, if you're listening and watching to the show in Pennsylvania, please get the word out to vote for Oz in November. If you're listening to in another state, reach out to anyone in this state and make sure they vote for Oz. Not just for Pennsylvania, but for the sake of the country. We can't have another swamp creature in Washington, and Fetterman is a serious swamp creature. And by the lump on his neck, he may be ready to procreate. I wonder what's living in that lump. You guys ever see the movie Alien? All right, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about sanctuary cities. Hey, last week we heard that Governor DeSantis flew 50 illegal migrants to Martha's Vineyard. We have also heard of Governor Abbott busing illegal migrants to various cities like New York, Washington, and of course Chicago. These cities are supposed to be what's referred to as sanctuary cities. So what is a sanctuary city? Most really don't know, and there's a lot of speculation. So let me explain a little bit about what they are and what they may be evolving into. Here's the basic definition of what's being called a sanctuary city. In fact, sanctuary city is just a made-up phrase that has a lot of political connotation for both sides. So the phrase sanctuary city is not a legal term, but one developed over time and more recently reflecting what is a response to ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement policies and actions. It's, in general, a sanctuary city is a community with a policy, written or unwritten, that discourages local law enforcement from reporting the immigration status of individuals unless it involves investigation of a serious crime. So it's basically a shield from law enforcement to find and deport illegal aliens in this country. The officials literally tell the police not to cooperate with other law enforcement to apprehend people who are here illegally. So now we have people being sent to these sanctuary cities by governors who do not want to be overrun with tens or even hundreds or even thousands of people who have no job, no shelter, no food. Here is an interesting fact also that you may not know. Crossing the border is considered a misdemeanor, and its punishment for this very minor crime has been established to be simply deportation. So there you are in another country and you want to come here. Assuming you actually make it here, the worst case scenario is you're sent back to try again. If you actually end up here and build a life, you can live in cities that will look the other way. Most will give you welfare money, housing money, food money, and it's clear that Biden and his policies have made this country into a sanctuary country. This is why we have governors defending their states from the abuse of power by the president and the governors and mayors of sanctuary cities. So if you think the term sanctuary city is any way of a term of empathy, it isn't. It's an interference with police and other criminal investigators. It's harboring criminals. So send your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Just send them legally. Oh, and leave out the drug smugglers, leave out the freeloaders, leave out the murderers, unless, of course, John Fetterman needs to hire another bodyguard, and leave out the terrorists. You can't help everyone at the cost of hurting everyone, so it's time for common sense border laws, rules, and walls. All right, real quick, let's talk about Treasury bonds. Before we go into the break, I wanted to mention the Treasury bonds and rates because it's interesting and how it's affecting the market is, kind of weird. Actually, it's kind of, it's kind of telling, right? So basically, when the yield on this 2-year Treasury bond actually rose to 3.96%, which actually rose to 3.98% at the highest, it had not hit that level since 2007. I keep saying that 2007 and 2008 are mirrors of what's happening right now, and it's getting even scarier. The yield on the 10-year Treasury last traded at 3.567, and it was as high as 3.59, and that traded in levels not seen since April 2011. What was April 2011? The absolute, I guess you want to call it the top of the recession or the bottom of the economy, I don't know, whichever you want to do. That's April 2011. So what does it mean to you? Look, it means it's probably a place that you might actually want to put money if you're scared. I know it's weird, but the rates are high, and they can even get higher after today. This is also why the market is ticking down. Even Wall Street is scared to invest in anything. By the way, if you really want to buy bonds, it's actually not a bad idea. I know it's weird, but it's not a bad idea. If you buy these bonds, and here's the interesting part, when the bond yield goes down, that's when you sell the bond, because that means that the bond went up in price. So you can actually buy the bond today at a discount, basically, and then sell it later on and also get a nice yield on it. So you could buy the Treasury bonds, by the way, from the government at treasurydirect.com, or you could buy them through a private bank or broker. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about some possible plays, and we'll see what the world is going to bring us today. See you in a minute. Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and one of the most misunderstood things in America is money. That's why I've written this book. It's called Money Hacks, because everything you think you know about money is wrong. And I'm telling you, everything you think you know about money is wrong. When you read this book, you will learn things about money that you did not know. You will even learn if money can buy you happiness. I have a full chapter dedicated to that. You're going to definitely want to read that. I talk about how to use other people's money to buy real estate. I talk about how to save more money, and I even talk about how to rebuild your credit score in this book. There are 22 amazing chapters in this book. This book is now available everywhere. It's available on Amazon. It's available on barnesandnoble.com. And you can order this book right now, and you'll have it in 2 days, and you'll start learning things about money that you never knew before. So order the book right now. Go to Amazon, go to barnesandnoble.com, and order the book, Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse. All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And we are having some fun today. This is pretty awesome. You guys having a good time watching this show? Let me know you're having a good time watching this show, because it's so important that you guys enjoy the show. If you don't enjoy the show, I'm not going to be here anymore. I'm not going to do the show anymore. So you guys let me know if you want to watch the show or enjoy the show. And by the way, if you want to be a sponsor of this show, your name and product would be delivered to hundreds of loyal listeners and watchers of the show. And as you know, we're expanding our base every day. And if you'd like to get your product or service out to my audience and help keep the show on the air, I'd love to have you as a sponsor. Hey, just reach out in Messenger, or you could just email me if you'd like. Or you can go to contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com. By the way, you guys know we have a Spotify channel. Go and subscribe to the Spotify channel. Listen to all the reports. It's funny, when I was at the Dr. Oz yesterday, everybody was like, hey, how can I hear you? How can I hear you? And I said, go to Spotify. All right, I talked about my lunch with Dr. Oz today. We talked about sanctuary cities. We talked about treasury rates. And coming up, of course, we have today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button yet? Did you guys hit that share button? Okay, hit the share button. All you do is go on the right side of your screen. You'll see where it says share. Click it down and just say share now. That's all you need to do. Just hit share now. All right. Also, by the way, you can also share it in groups too by clicking down 2 buttons and say share in groups. All right. So let everybody know you enjoy the show. Mike's saying don't leave us. Hey, Mike, send me some money. I won't leave you. All right. I'm just teasing you. I'm actually enjoying this show. It's a lot of fun. All right. As I've been saying all morning, today is all about the Fed interest rates. Look, we need this sweet spot of 75 basis points. It's going to be scary if we get anything else. If we get 100, the market's going to drop really fast. You know, I'm going to say, though, if it does happen, it's going to bring opportunity. Don't run from the market. If it happens, run to the market. The Fed will eventually slow the rates down and may have to drop them in about a year or so to get the recession, or either keep the recession from coming or get us out of recession. My thought is the recession will be in February is when it will start, or when it'll be bad, and it'll probably go a few months before they put a little bit of maybe lowering interest rates to fix it. They're definitely oversteering here, and hopefully before we get into the ditch, the Fed will steer back. Look for stocks that are affected by oil costs today. These will be buys today. The cruise lines and the airlines will drop today because of the rise in oil prices by Putin's statement. They didn't even rise that much. It's just funny, right? That people just panic. I saw Carnival Cruise Lines was down like 22 cents earlier. It's only down about 9 right now. I'm telling you, it's all going to bounce back quickly. Options will be a good plays on these. Nikola, by the way, is weird. It's looking attractive at the price of under $5, but damn, that's also a scary number. The real question is whether it'll actually survive. Google right now, I'm going to say would probably be my favorite play. It's a touch over 100, and that's a good play. I also like AT&T at the 16.5 price. And you know what? Zoom might also be a play at these prices too. Look, I realize that people aren't using Zoom as much, but Zoom is still being used for business. There's no doubt in my mind it's still being used for business. So Zoom at 76-ish, I think where I saw it last, is probably a good price. Prepare yourself for 2 o'clock today. That's when it's all going to happen. You don't even need to hear the speech or read the news. Just the reaction of the market will say everything you need to know. I'm telling you, all I do is I just watch my screen at 2 o'clock, and I watch the Dow or S&P move up or down, and I already know what the answer was. I mean, I could easily tell you what the answer is, what they did. If it's 75 basis points, the market's going to move up. If it's anything else, the market's going to move down. All right, on the crypto scene, Bitcoin. Oh, actually, let me take a look at the futures. All the futures. I'm sorry. Right now, the Dow is up 114, so maybe they think there's some hope. The S&P is up 14, and the Nasdaq is up 17. And of course, on crypto scene, Bitcoin is around 19,000 and Ethereum is about 1350, basically the same as yesterday. I'm telling you, if you're in this, get out. You're going to be hurt if you're in it. and look for Bitcoin to go to 12,000. Look for Ethereum to go to about 700 or 800 before you even think about it. All right, gold and silver are also terrible. However, look, gold and silver are at least real. They exist, you know. Crypto doesn't exist. It's just fake something where in the internet. I know if you guys want to argue with me and say the fiat currency is fake, it is, but it's not. All right, however, gold and silver could be buying opportunities. Gold is below 1,700, and silver is just about 19 again. 19 again. I like it. Silver. It's funny because it's like a mixed thing for me because I'm buying more and I hold a lot of it. So I like it when it's up, but I like it when it's down, so I can buy more. So I don't know, whatever. The Treasury bond, as we know, it's right now. It's right around 3.53%. Watch this rise today. It'll definitely rise today. 4% will be the next benchmark coming soon, and everyone is just waiting for it. When it hits 4%, you're going to see some crazy stuff happen. It's going to get ugly when you hit 4%. And as I said before, that 4% number it's going to definitely tank the market. Oil, so here's what I said before about oil. So oil is only about $86 a barrel. I don't understand. It was only $2 more than yesterday. You know, it's not a big deal. Putin had this whole thing, and all the companies got nervous, and oil went up a little bit. It went up $2. I don't think it's a big deal. Plus, what Putin said, he just said we're mobilizing. He didn't say, the damage is already done. The sanctions are already in place. Putin's already stopped, selling oil to certain places. So I don't see this being an issue. I don't see oil going up in price. In fact, oil has been steadily going down. I would even suspect that oil will be below 80 probably in the next 30 days or so. So watch for that too. The average gas price is, I don't know, I can't say down, I can't say up because it doesn't make any sense, but it's currently $3.67 a gallon. I can't take pictures of my car next to high prices anymore. Oh, well, I still have the good one when it was $4.99. All right, I want to thank you all for watching Money Chat Now. Listen, if you don't know, we're live here every morning on 7:30 on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And, of course, you can find repeats of the show on Rumble and Spotify. If it's your first time, please say hi. Please say hi online if it's your first time. And don't forget to go to Rumble. Don't forget to go to Spotify. Also subscribe there. My name is Larry Steinhouse. I am the host of Money Chat Now. I'm also the CEO of Investor Schooling. Listen, go to investorschooling.com, sign up for class tomorrow. It's going to be fun. You're going to learn some stuff, I promise. And if you want to contact me directly, you could contact me at contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com. And of course, from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show, and the opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to make them. All right, you ready? Make it a profitable day.